Good evening, Deep River residents. This is November 12th, 2019. This is the Selectmen's meeting. First off, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:31. First item, we approve the minutes from the regular meeting held October 22nd, 2019.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from that October 22nd, 2019 meeting.
I'll second it. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next one on the agenda is the tax collector refunds. We have 5 refunds this month, totaling $2,533.78. I have the list here. I'll need a motion for that.
I make a motion to approve the refunds totaling $2,533.78.
I'll second it. Any discussion?
None from me.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next on the line is the Economic Development Commission to discuss website development. Mr. Lewis and Mr. McKenzie, come on up. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Sweet, pass me that's my sweatshirt.
Oh, that's okay.
It's all right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Over the years, we've had struggles with the economic development, and seem to have a pretty good group right now. We've got some neat things that I think are happening. One of the things that we did this year was we had 2 moorings at the harbor that were guest moorings. And the idea was to encourage people to come to Deep River to get involved with the restaurants or shopping and stuff like that. And it's just in its infancy. We're going to try and hone it down. We've been talking about floating docks and things in the future, long term. And also
And getting the word out as to them being there?
Yeah, well, the word is out.
Oh, okay.
It's an active captain is used by about 300,000 boaters all over the world. And it's listed there, but not properly. We got to work on it a little bit, get it cleaned up. But that was there this year, and it was used to I think, an acceptable level. But the idea is to identify Deep River Center and people that might not normally do. We also have developed or working on a web page for specifically economic development and some things that have to be updated. And we're trying to make sure that the parts of it are easily maintained and updated. And that's important. You can't just let it go.
And you guys will maintain that?
Yes, okay. Yes. Now, the main mission of the economic development is first to maintain the existing businesses that we have, to new businesses or new venture to come in and encourage them to come to Deep River. And then to take some major things that we have, such as the Valley Railroad, and see if we can't work a little bit more positively with these folks. It's a major enterprise in the state of Connecticut, and it's a major part of Deep River, and I think we have to address that, and we're just trying to figure that out right now.
Agreed.
Then the other thing we did, and I made copies for you, this is a business that surprised me, but there were businesses, and this is basement businesses, there were 600 businesses in Deep River. Now, we honed that down, and we got it down to 270 businesses that have places like Cumberland Farms or a restaurant
Wow.
and it's in a process right now. It's on a spreadsheet. It's everybody in our the economic development is working on this to come up with. We'd like to come up with a directory that has websites, telephone numbers. So if you want to get a pizza, you go to our website, which is sort of self-serving, and you can find out what they have, how much it is, or whatever restaurant or the hardware store contact there. And the machine shops, but it just was mind-boggling. We haven't been in town for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And how many businesses are actually in Deep River.
That website is up and
No,
Or you're working on
we're
it?
working, we're
Okay.
gonna, yeah,
Okay.
This is very nice. This is,
Yeah, this is interesting.
And then last week, we were hosting upstairs the Middletown Chamber of Commerce and their regional meeting. That was the day of the storm, and we got a phone call at 6 o'clock in the morning of that day. It was canceled. So,
Yep.
anyway,
Some of us were here. right?
yeah, we were here. The bagels were great.
Yes, they were.
Can you think of anything else, Pete?
Just, we're trying to get some new younger members to get the social media aspect going. Ted and I don't utilize social media, but as you can see, it's powerful. Whether it's good or bad,
Right.
it's debatable, but that's my
You,
personal
you,
opinion.
you have to.
You have to put the good stuff out
Right.
there, and we are gonna do it. And the vendor for the webpage is gonna assist us with it, and there's 2 people on the board that utilize it, and I think they'll be able to give us
And that vendor's the one you're using to to create the website and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, it's a reasonable cost. She's
Yeah.
a guy in Killingworth, and I think she's gonna do an excellent job. She's done a few towns, and they look great. We don't need like,
No.
you refer to North Haven's website, they have dozens of businesses that employ
And I'm
thousands of
sure
people.
probably if these individual businesses have their own website, there will be links
Yeah,
so that
but
you
we
can
wanna-
click
Yeah,
on
this
them.
is the
and so-
idea, that,
Yeah,
you've
so
got,
it's-
we've got a list of a lot of businesses that, and you're looking for a landscaper, well, we've got there's a number of landscapers in town that
Yep.
I never knew there was that many, and,
We need to do what we can to,
yeah, and
Retain and
that's
bring
just the
in.
start. It's gotta be honed down, and we've gotta break it down even more, we've gotta get information, phone numbers and websites, there's some work to do on it.
but this is a good starting base.
absolutely.
So the people in the town that, want to get involved in an economic development committee with Ted and Pete, reach out to them. Of course, we're looking for anyone, younger people that know the social media aspect better than some of us older people that don't really do well at it. But, we're always looking for people to get involved. Tony?
Yeah, got one question for you. Well, 2 questions, actually. And a statement. I drove down here just to say that you guys should do something like this, so it's fantastic to hear. The second thing I was gonna ask is, how many openings are left on economic development? Just 1, or?
I'm sorry.
How many people, how many
How many
vacancies?
How many spots do you have?
There's 2 openings, oh, okay.
Maybe you're the guy.
I might, a lot of meetings lately.
That's another one.
Right? There's one more question, now I'm drawing a blank, you threw me off. There's a merchants association, you guys deal with them too?
Christine's one of our members.
Yeah, Chris. Oh,
She's
she's
been
one.
attending the
Okay.
meetings.
Yeah, it would seem to me that organization as well as yours should,
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
see, all right, perfect, that's all I got.
Thanks, Tony.
thank you.
The third Monday of the month,
Okay,
right here.
all right.
Come down
Monday?
and see what's
I'm
involved.
I'll be here.
What time, Ted?
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
7? Okay. That's it. Thank you.
Well, it's not it.
Okay.
In a way, we have something to say is, I think, private citizens,
Yeah, that part's done, so
Oh,
it's the
You
audience of citizens was just
we
next.
can come back to.
No, the next thing is
That's all for
audience.
next now?
Yeah,
Well, let me just,
okay.
Yep, go ahead.
all right, well, thank you for making your presentation. Audience of citizens, any business?
Thief River, we've got some major things that can happen this year, next year. And on a personal basis, I've been involved in town for 20 years with upstairs painting walls and a fair number of years in different positions in town. I started when Joe Mizieski was here, and he did Joe did some great work. We got a sewer system. Nobody else around here has a sewer system, and ours works good. And with the development that could possibly happen in town, we have to have our commissions all on the same page. Not rubber stamping ideas, but we have to get rid of the internal hostility that is natural that we've had. It's normal in democracy to have that. But this particular time, it's important that we are more, I don't know, I'm not using the right words,
Yeah.
but more together
Yep.
on these commissions. Not the language. I mean, we can do battle as far as
Oh, absolutely.
ideas go, but to have, it's gotta be homogenic. I'm getting across.
No, I
Yeah, absolutely,
understand.
we get you,
Understand.
we get you.
And we should all be working together as a community. You know, everyone has opinions, but if we all work together, you know, we'll go places. Deep River is a beautiful town and we want to keep moving forward.
With economic development, just the idea of deep, and I don't mean to put the two together.
No, that's
That's
fine.
fine.
But economic development, if we have, you know, blue coal company want to come in and have a coal mine here in town. Economic development's job is to welcome them in and show them what's available. Ours are not the policeman's job.
Right.
Okay, to bring them in. There's other commissions and other
Correct.
entities that will say, no, that's not appropriate for Deep River. But the idea of, oh, man, those folks are pretty good. Maybe our corporate offices could go there, we'll have the mine in
Somewhere
Essex or Chester. You follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
And anyway, that's,
We all have to be open-minded.
yeah, but we gotta be open-minded and come together, grab, sometimes things aren't gonna work out.
Right, just everything that comes
But we
isn't
have,
necessarily gonna happen, but
we have to
everybody
work
should
for the
communicate.
majority,
Right.
whether we like it personally or not,
Right.
we have
It's-
to work for the majority of the people.
It's for the good of the town versus, Yeah.
And people in Deep River have always had that. Now, we got a sewer system. I'll never be on the sewer system. There's people out in Winter who
I'll
won't be
never-
in the sewer
I'll
system.
never.
I'll never
But
be.
those people have been paid the bill for putting those sewers in many areas. You know, a great deal of money. And there hasn't been any resistance at all to that. And that's the way the community should be all the way around, on every side.
Well, I've always said there's a reason that we elect to live here, stay here versus move. You know, moving businesses, the economic development, bringing businesses in, potentially to come in. There's a reason that somebody wants to come to Deep River. It's because it's a nice town. And we all need to, all the commissions and all the people we need to work toward the betterment of the town.
Yes.
Hey, where we live, we'll never see water, sewer, gas, sidewalks. That's something that we chose and where we chose to live.
Yep.
You know,
Yes.
we've been here 56 years and, you know, I'm very happy where I am. But for the betterment of the community, if we have to do something, more sewer or more gas or whatever it may be, and if it's gonna help other people in the community, that's what we have to look at. Or if a business wants to come in, and instead of saying no, let's look at it. Let's look at all options. And we should be an open door, not to be walked on, but we should be an open door when people wanna come, because the taxes aren't going down.
That's right, and we do, we need help with the tax situation. you know, I mean,
We have an aging community in Deep River. There's a lot of people that are on fixed incomes and a lot of people that are just barely getting by. And if we can bring more business in to help with the tax base and help out these people with the taxes, that's my goal as being a selectman on our
But I
board.
think also we
Absolutely.
got people here that can make a business successful.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And it's a great area. It's not just Deep River, it's the area. You know, there's people that I've heard that say that the railroad doesn't really bring that much to the town, and I don't believe that for a second. Because they come into town and they see the landing and they get off and they get on, and then if they have time, they'll come here and they'll end up buying something
Buying
at
gas,
Adams
buying
or stopping at the Red House or
buying a beer.
buying gas at the, at Cumberland Farms or whatever. So it's all about the area, specifically Deep River, absolutely. But we live in a very nice area here, the lower Connecticut River Valley, and we might as well take advantage of it any way we can.
And it's important to try to get, the millennials to, they go to Valley, they go off to school. It's important to find businesses that keep them coming back to
Yep.
serve on the boards and
Right.
commissions and, maybe have home businesses or.
Well, that's why I think a lot of these, these are all good businesses, but probably most of them, other than being on Main Street, are home businesses. And that's a very vital part of the community, absolutely. So, yeah, absolutely, agreed 100%.
But I think maybe we should just cut to the chase. And you can stop me if you're not in agreement with me.
Well, it's not, I feel similar.
The municipal officials are here to serve the public, all of us. And we're to do so in a, you know, we're managing people's resources, and we have to do it in a fair, professional, and equitable fashion. My concern is today that there's been an event going on for a while with the zoning commission that needs to be resolved.
Okay.
Okay?
And I just feel there should be a censure to get rid of the, you know, until the outcome is determined of what is going on. We need to do something, because when you're wasting resources in this town, when Dick told me to stay in the back room and shred paper while there was a planning and zoning meeting, that's a challenge. Maybe at the Board of Finance meeting, they should have police here to keep the crowd calm, but we can't have the zoning commission carry on the way that it's carrying on now.
I
Well,
wrote down the notes,
Yeah.
and when
But I
Angus
guess we have
gets
to
there.
do something.
Yep.
Fish or cut the bait, because
I-
there's a lot of important things coming up. And to the elderly people and to millennials, when you graduate school, one of my daughter's friends is paying $1,100 a month student loan. She's not gonna be buying a house on a Winterberry. She's a nurse practitioner. You know, you'd think she'd be making a good living, but right out of the gate, you're not when you have a big student loan.
it's very
You
tough.
know, you're gonna be doing home care or something for a while,
Yep.
you know, working out of your house. But we gotta get the regulation subcommittee, we were discussing it today. Sometimes I think if everyone tries to do a good job, I think when people are being sincere, it may work out, but when people go off into a tangent, I think some things need to be outsourced. And there's a ton of companies in Connecticut that write regulations and make sure that they're clear, so that when the planning and zoning comes in and looks at something, A, B, C, it has a sidewalk, it has 12 parking spots for every 10 people. And I don't know if there's the clarity now that there is.
I
I've
can't,
spoken with a couple people that are disenfranchised with the system now, one brand new business and one business down by the town dock, that they're just not being treated fairly. And I know them, I know you guys.
Yep.
Fair is fair, and there's stuff that is just not fair.
well, I'm not, give me one second, Tony. I'm not saying planning and zoning, I'm not calling any commission out, I'm just saying what's on my mind. We should all be working together for the betterment of the town of Deep River. We don't need people with agendas that are gonna hurt the progress of Deep River. That's not why I got involved. I don't know how my
No,
counterparts feel,
not
but we
why
all
I
have
got
to work
involved.
together. Again, if someone comes in and has their plans and everything's lines up, we should not be trying to block them, or whatever it may be, whether it be planning and zoning, whether it be inland wetland, whatever. I don't know enough about it.
Right.
I'll personally say I don't know enough about planning and zoning and inland wetlands, except a few meetings that I've come to. But again, my goal is to work together for the betterment of Deep River, not personal agendas or personal vendettas against someone that they may not like. And however we can try to get that word across in coming months, that's something that we all have to work with. You know, and I believe that all the commissions should work hand in hand with, if it's not Angus, Jimmy and myself. We are all, like you said, we're all elected officials, we all work for the town, that we should all work together. Tony?
I just want to throw one
Yep.
thing in there. So I know there's been a lot of decisiveness in planning and zoning, and in wetlands and all the commissions, and that happens. But I think we have a new zoning enforcement officer now, and I know her from Clinton. She's written those regulations. I mean, if you go through them, they're very clear. And I know there's a problem with every regulation, regardless of who writes them. But I think if you give her the chance, I think you're going to see that she'll come out with something very clear.
I like hearing
that works
that
for the
from
town.
you.
I'm just,
I mean,
I
you're
think,
on, you're
yeah.
on the commission, so.
I think if you give her a chance, we'll be
Yeah.
all right. And I
Yeah.
think, it took us a while, and I think we're all coming around. But there's always going to be problems. I mean, nobody's ever going to agree on everything 100%.
Right.
But the reason I'm back up here is that I think we should. I've thrown this out there once before. I think the three commissions should meet. I think we should have once every 3 or 4 months. We should sit down and go, hey, what can we do to help you guys? What can you do to help us? What are we missing? Do you have something coming up that we should be looking at? So I mean,
Communications is.
all the other towns do that. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
if that's good for you guys, maybe I will come to the Monday meeting and with some dates and say, hey, can you guys sit with us and go over some stuff? If you guys are open to it, I'd love
Oh,
to.
absolutely.
Maybe the selectmen can
Well, yeah, he's at the
come up with a date for exactly that suggestion.
Yeah, he's in
You know,
the
that's,
so yeah.
Hmm?
Anyway, that's.
Well, like
Yeah.
a round table, just for, we all can
Yeah.
air out our differences and try to, with a
It's,
vision going forward.
Correct.
With the woodland wetlands, the planning, zoning, the economic, and go forward with it.
Yeah.
And we have a blueprint of where we want to go in 2020.
Right, I mean, because we're gonna get the plan of conservation development's gotta come half from you and half from us. So I mean, we're gonna have to sit down anyway to iron all that out.
it's best, as much transparency and communication as possible will be good for the town.
Exactly.
And during the campaign, a couple of people came to me and suggested that, as well as selectmen meeting and board of finance meetings, that other commissions in town should be videotaped, so that for whatever reason, whether it's disagreements.
Transparency.
Excuse me?
Transparency.
Yeah, and those people that want to complain on social media or whatever and don't come to meetings can maybe watch, I believe it's on Sunday. I don't have cable, I have satellite, so I can't watch it on Sundays. But you can see what happens at the meetings and get involved, whether it's watching on TV or maybe it'll motivate somebody to sit in those chairs over there and participate and be transparent in everything, try and be as transparent as possible for the betterment of the whole town. So, and I know, I suggest that we look into that,
Yeah, no, I think,
in the future for all the big meetings, the big groups.
Right.
Board of Select, Board of Finance, Planning, Zoning, and whatever other might be there. It's out there for everybody to see and try and keep as transparent as possible.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Make an organized protocol as to how each one functions and then how they function together and the priority of how they function maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if that's good for you guys,
Yeah.
I'll be there Monday.
I'll pass it up to Angus and,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah.
I know we're coming to the holiday season, so maybe January we'll put something together and
Yeah,
everyone get together and.
But
go
that's
forward.
the kind of input that we all need as taxpayers and public servants, the whole 9 yards. We need this, and nobody should be afraid to voice their opinion. That's part of the transparency.
when we serve on these,
And-
even as volunteers, I don't get paid,
Yep.
but I consider myself a public service when I'm doing this. And,
Dwayne and I get paid.
yeah,
We don't get paid a lot of money,
No,
but
but
we
it-
all do it for the betterment of the town.
If we have someone
Yeah.
come into the sewer plant and has a problem, we listen to them with respect. Sometimes you get people that are always complaining about something, you still listen to it, you have a
Absolutely.
responsibility to listen with respect.
Absolutely.
And if you can solve their issue, you do it. And,
But it's
you know,
managed with a code of conduct, and that's what I feel like might be missing, right? Among all of the commissions, is a code of conduct of how you present when you're a representative of the town.
That's not a bad idea,
Right.
Absolutely.
because I think most of us would really fall into the code of conduct, and probably some of us need to be reminded about it.
If you're on a commission and you're gonna represent your town, then absolutely, I mean, there has to be some type of, guidelines that we all follow, so.
That's where Jim and I had talked about having to film a planning and zoning or an inland wetlands, because again, whether people like it or not, you act differently when you're behind this camera. And again, we are representing our constituents of the town of Deep River.
Absolutely.
Whether you're an elected position or you're a volunteer position, you're a representative of the town of Deep River.
I remember one last thing. So when I first got on the commission, I contacted UConn to see if they would come, because they do training for commission members. And so they came down and did a big thing in upstairs. So maybe that's another requirement that, every here they come out and do, because it's free, so they can come out and everybody has to attend if you're gonna be on one of the boards.
That's a
Yeah,
great idea.
when we were getting into Board of Education, Dwayne and I have many years there, and
Yeah.
there would be a training,
Cabe would
Cabe
come
and
out.
whatnot would come in and give us an education as to, as a board member,
Yeah, no, I-
what we should or shouldn't do and
Yeah.
how to do it.
Right, that's, they
Right.
were, the conduct you said, that was one of the things, so maybe that's another thing.
Communication and transparency as much as possible. And, we might disagree, that's who we are.
We will disagree.
We will
We can
disagree.
agree to disagree.
But that's the way that
Right.
it needs to be, and you can't have the discussion if there's no discussion.
But at the end of the day, if we shake hands and
Yeah.
walk out the door and we're moving deeper forward,
Or even simpler, when we follow the regulations that are set before us,
Yep.
then it removes any chance of disagreement, right? Because we don't have a choice. We just have to follow the rules.
And if something has to be changed, then you work toward making a change,
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
And if you don't get that abrasive with each other, sometimes you can come up with pretty good compromises. You know what I mean? You have a point of view, I have a point of view. We lock heads a little bit, and then we come up and
Find a happy
we
medium.
compromise and
again,
come up with the right
yeah.
answer. you know?
We've mentioned, in this day in social media, it's very easy when you're on social media to say stuff that you wouldn't say face to face with anybody.
Or on camera.
It's totally different.
Well,
Whether
it's
you're,
also looking for
whether you're on
information.
camera or not, it's easy to
Exactly.
spout off on the internet. It's better to come together, see whether it's on video or in person, join a group, join a commission, run for office, whatever. But face to face, open communication is gonna be what is good for the town of Deep River, so.
thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Anything else from audience and citizens?
Christine Nucci. I'm on the economic.
Oh, okay, nice to meet you.
Who's it, Christine Nucci?
Yeah,
Joel's wife?
yeah. No.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Any other audience and citizens? I'll give a little update. Weather permitting, the West Bridge Street paving, hopefully will be done this week, weather permitting. We have a little snow flurries out there today, so it's a little tough to do some paving. And the road may be closed through traffic while they're paving. The end of Bushy Hill also, hope to be paved by the end of the week, again, weather permitting. On our energy upgrades that we did at the school, Deeper Elementary School, that's finishing up, and the next one will be the library coming up next. That's all we have. Also, I just wanted me to say that, winter is coming. We are ready with the snow plows and the sand and salt. It's that time of the year, but we are ready. And other than that, I have nothing else.
I have nothing else.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn at 6:58 or thereabouts.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.